Check my baby mama. Bro, how come they ain't call me? Why are you not telling them to call me? That's what I say. Money, I'm paying for shit. I'm doing, bro, you bet that's the least they could be doing. And you better be on their ass to make sure they call me at all times.
Women should make their kids check on the fathers. I come from, my father, they was in two separate households. And my father trained me to always be like, hey, call your mama, check on her, make sure she made it home. Hey, call your mama. Hey, you complimented your mama today? Hey, tell her how good the cooking is. Hey, tell her your mama is pretty. Vice versa. My mom was like, hey, did you call your daddy? Have you checked on your daddy this week? Hey, you know what I'm saying? I remember my daddy went to prison. Every time he wrote me, she made me sit down and write him back. And they had a terrible relationship. So, with that being said, when my daughter's at my house, I'm like, hey, you call your check on your mama today? Like, hey, when the last time you talked to your mama? You gonna go a whole week without speaking to your mama?
I'm your professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, it's pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, but more importantly, you see the clip. Google a book first so you can find it on Amazon. It's a dope read. We got to talk about this one because I see what the guy's saying and I agree with him to a certain extent. I'm gonna give a caveat, but to this extent, I'm gonna make the assumption that, for one, children don't have phones. For one, so when you live in separate households, normally as a father, you're gonna be calling to check on the kid, calling to check on the kid. And when we talk about parental alienation, one of the things is it's not that you don't see your kid. It's not just that you don't see your kid. So because you don't see your kid as much as you should, um, the bond is not formed or broken. But when you call and you don't talk to your kid, it adds on to it. So 9 times out of 10, if you call a person, if you call to speak to your child, to talk to your child, call FaceTime, whatever you want to do, right? And if you can't get through on a regular basis, then the responsibility at that point is on the custodial parent. So I'm just saying, like the mother at that point. If you calling and the kid don't want to talk, or if you calling they're not answering, then you calling and the quote unquote lady have attitude, and then the kid have attitude, and she don't want to talk, and she don't want the kid to talk, and now the kid don't want to talk, and it becomes that issue. Um, then it's definitely her fault. Now, if you one of the people that just think a child should chase you down, but you didn't actually take the first step to build a bond, that's different. Then no. So the reason why this is interesting is because I think about it, and I think about how many adults who were once kids, they may be close to mom, but not so close to dad. And now you're grown, you could just pick up a phone and talk, but you don't. And you know why you don't? It's because you're not accustomed to calling. You're not accustomed to saying hello. You're not accustomed to saying just checking in. You're not accustomed to saying I just wanted to know how you was doing. You're not accustomed to saying, hey man, I love you. I just wanted to say hey. You're not accustomed to doing that because you never did it. And I can also say, like, after a while, if you're the other parent and you call and you check, you call and you check, and you realize, wait a minute, this kid don't never call unless they want something. Then they know your number. They know your number. They know your name. Hey, Dad, I love you. You wanna? Well, here's the thing. Give me $50. You mean to tell me you can't afford $50? And then it's like, oh, okay, all right. And so that means that kid was groomed to be that after a while, um, because when you're when you're in your mother's household, that's one thing. But then when you're out, that's another. That's like when you if you didn't have a phone, because now kids have phones at a young age. When you didn't have a phone and you didn't call because, of whatever reason. And now that you do have a phone and your dad calls, but you can't talk, or you don't want to talk, or you never call, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, let me get this right. But I know you on the phone because I see you on social media, you on Instagram, you on Snapchat. You might be posting when you talk, when you hanging out with your friends. You talk to your friends, and it's okay. It's okay. Like as a kid and a teenager, it's normal to talk to your friends. But it's become normal to actually have a better relationship with your friends than you do your father. And what's interesting, you lose your friends, but you still got a father. And y'all never gonna be friends unless you till you grown. You know what I'm saying? So some of y'all just don't realize that for a lot of you quote unquote baby mothers, this is how people know you're down bad. This is how people know that you ain't a good person, period. It's because these things keep happening consistently. And they happen so consistently that at the end of the day, the kid don't know how to talk. And you've seen it where you've seen adults awkward with their father. And I'm not talking about a bad dude, a deadbeat, or none of that. I'm talking about a dude who was just a stand-up dude. He just, it just didn't work out with the mom, right? And the kid's just like, I don't know what to say. I don't know. You know, you expect something for your birthday, but you don't know his birthday. you know, is it, you can't even say hello on a holiday. You don't call, you can't even talk to him on Christmas or Thanksgiving or say Happy New Year or, Happy Father's Day. You don't do none of that. Happy birthday, none of that stuff, right? And because it's weird. And then, but you don't realize they're not the weird one, you are, right? And like going back to the mothers in this scenario, when the kids have this issue, this is what the mother wanted. And then some of y'all get so close to y'all mom, when y'all mom do y'all dirty, y'all got like Stockholm syndrome. Your mom do you dirty, you go back a million times, right? And it becomes interesting because you're on guard with your dad. And that's, it is what it is. But you don't realize how disrespectful you are until dad goes off. Like, man, get the go on somewhere. And it's like, oh, I knew you was always like this. That's why I never talked to you for the last 10 years. And it's like, you ain't talked to me for the last 10 years. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. This just some shit you made up. You've been having an attitude. It's one thing to have an attitude as a child. And because, and it's another, and then you might have attitude as a teenager for sure. But when you start getting into adulthood and you still have a funky attitude and you don't know why, it's you. You never checked in on your dad. So then your dad like, okay, whatever, man. Go live your life. I'm gonna live mine. And then it becomes when as an adult, I need a father, and I don't know, you never talk to me. And it's like, bro, your fingers ain't broke. Your fingers ain't broke. Like, when have you picked up the phone? When have you said hello? I mean, damn. I mean, think about all the people you've called and talked to, that you still talk to and that you don't talk to, that you even, became cool with again and fell out with again. You get what I'm saying? Like, um, a lot of this, a lot of y'all don't know how to maintain a relationship because of this, whether y'all know it or not. A lot of y'all don't know how to deal with a contentious environment or uncomfortable situation because of this. Because in essence, what you were taught to do was be a deadbeat child who winds up being an adult that can run away from anything if they think it is detrimental to them, even if they're wrong, because they don't know that they're wrong, or they never thought to think that they might be wrong. So it creates a problem. Not blame the mothers, but tell me what y'all think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.